My dear student, this is lecture number 2, week 2, video clip number 3. Now we are moving towards new criticism. It's also a way, a lens towards which the people have used, and most of the critics have used to analyze different types of text. So when we are talking about new criticism, so most probably we believe that and we know that T.S. Eliot and Matthew Arnold were more important in this area, and they consider literature, and they are taking literature as similar to religion in its role, because they believe that literature can teach us well, it can just provide us different types of civilization. That is why it has been explained with the word like the best that has been taught and said. Now Arnold confirmed this, that the place of literature is very important and very pivotal in human civilization, and that is why they believe that whatever is available in literature, that is the best ever taught and said by the people, by the writers. So the role of literature, according to them, is very profound and very important, and that is why literature can provide us something in terms of civilization, in terms of understanding, and what we can say in terms of thinking process. It can open our minds to see the world through our open eyes. So that is why they were considering literature one of the basic thing, and they were focusing on the focal formal aspects of literature when they were describing different types of meaning. A semi-religious role of literature is very much on the top in their agenda, and they take it something very much serious to go against the artificiality and superficiality of and commercialization of the world, because most of the people, they are disturbed and devastated by artificial outlook of the world, the commercialized nature of human society, and that is why they were against this. So they think that this is what we can have a certain type of explanation for in terms of literature to face this problem of what we can say, this problem of artificiality in literature and in the world. We can just put a few lines from Arnold like this: more and more mankind will discover that we have to turn to poetry to interpret life for us, to console us, to sustain us. Without poetry, our science will appear incomplete, and most of what now passes with us for religion and philosophy will be replaced by poetry. And if you remember similar things you can see and what with poetry, the role of life, the soul, the soulless are consolation of poetry, which is given to the reader and the poet himself. That is why you can see that over here. It was something, a social critique of unauthentic behavior of humanity. People were showing themselves very different. They were not real in sense. That is why they were trying to copy or to make themselves more superficial than what they are. That is why it was a type of uh, critique on those things. The most and well-known people, Ellen Tate, Robert Penn, John Crew Ransom, Clint Broke, William Hempson, and F. R. Leavis. These are the most, and a few are also there, but they are the part of all other uh, literary theories as well. Now we are moving to Russian formalism. The word is very much clear. It developed in Russia when people were busy in new criticism or critical criticism, and USA and UK were unknowingly the Russian who were busy and providing similar things in terms of Russian formalism, and it was a school who have just focused on the study of literature in a systematic manner. They analyze all those things, precise definition of literature. They provide precise definition of literature. They paved the way from many theories, because from here we can see different types of theories emerging, and they became one of the best known things. And practice with a scientific dispatch approach to literary analysis. Without this first theory, we would, in a sense, not have the branches which we assumed in this story. Now, the focus of this theory is form the text. Then now, what is the form, how it is structured, how it is made, and then the other thing, the process of defamiliarization. Remember when Wordsworth and Coleridge, they were describing poetry. So what was their basic role? One said, "I will defamiliarize the familiar things," and other says, "I will make the defamiliarize the strange things familiar to the people." So both are different version available in their text. Similar things you can see in their description. Another important aspect they have talked about is literature, is that how can we produce literature, or how can we consider a text as a literature, or why can't we include any scientific mission as a literary text. So they have given different types of qualities and different types of things they have they have explained. Now they think that literariness is the common denominator for the selection of a literary text. Now, what are the process they were using when they were going for analysis? So they were thinking that alternate language becomes defamiliarized with the help of different techniques. They use devices, the form of repetition, rhymes, a regular meter, subdivision of stanzas, and make things very much uh, defamiliarize a string that can make you able to read it again and again and give you certain types of different pleasure and meaning. They have given other things which we will definitely talk in a future lecture when we will go in detail. Who were the basic and most well-known Russian formalists? So Viktor Shklovsky, Yuri Tuvinov, Vladimir Prop, Boris Eichenbaum, Roman Jacobson, Boris Tomaszowski, and Gregory Bukovsky. These are the people. A few others that they were also the part of this, but they were the most prominent among this. Now we are moving towards another theory, which is very much available in modern world, which we call cultural studies. Now, what is the focus and importance of cultural studies in their own concepts and ideas? The focus of cultural study is on the social cultural context in which a text is produced. Now, what is socio-cultural context? Socio-cultural context can be political, it can be religious, it can be social etiquettes in their ways, it can be the tradition, another thing. What type of things they are taking to make it visible in terms of reading. So they are similar to new structures, but they are going opposite from them in terms of what? Because then finding a middle ground. They are talking about middle ground. They argue that a work must be interpreted entirely as a function of culture that produces it. Now, culture is very much difficult term to explain. Many authors have defined culture in different ways, but what we believe is culture is a web of meaning which is created and recreated by the people who are living that culture, and that is why every culture has its own qualities, and other people of other culture, they have a different types of behavior and approach towards the culture of other people. So when you are taking something in the part of culture is a production of culture. So all the happening which is available in that culture can be seen and interpreted in different types of text. They can pinpoint different tradition, different types of techniques, living styles, language, scientific invention, environmental changes, all those things you can find in those cultures. This leads to critical reading of Star Trek alongside review of Ulysses and other interesting juxtaposition mean they're comparatively they describe two different things and they might different ways from those, and that's why they put two texts to juxtapose and analyze those texts in terms of meaning. The distinction between high art and low art no longer apply. This is not available there because as we know in critical criticism, high art and low art it was very much available there, but it's not available over here. New criticism argues and looks at source material surrounding the time period of created work holding in cultural studies look at a work is fully representative of its time. Now cultural studies consider The work produced in a specific time is representative of their time, is against to new Stoicism, who are taking historical available material surrounding the text to realize the text in detail.